Well, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about why you should apply to Oregon State University. My name is Amanda Price, and I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions for Resident Recruitment.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heather Wilford. I'm the Senior Assistant Director for Multicultural Recruitment. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shara. I am a third year going into interior design with a minor in psychology. I'm from Ever Beach, Hawaii, so a little bit of a ways from home. A really big portion of why I chose to come to Oregon State University after I had taken my tour was just seeing all the campus involvement and how much of a family you can really make out of Oregon State University. A lot of people are kind of scared or intimidated about how large of a school we are. We do have around 24,000 students studying in Corvallis specifically, so it can be a little bit intimidating at first, but there are so many different clubs and organizations, different ways you can get involved on campus that really make it seem a lot smaller. You can find your little family, your little group that you get to call home on campus. And for me, that was Huio Hawaii. That's a really big Hawaii club on campus, so that we have students from Hawaii or students who are interested in the culture of Hawaii. And we all just get together. We have a great time. We also put on the largest student-led event on campus, so the annual luau. And that's a photo from the 2019 luau there. My first luau. I had so much fun, and it was so great getting the chance to get involved, share my culture with so many people, and getting to put on such an awesome event. A lot of other events that we hold on campus, so like Dam Jam, which is a really big concert that we have, is also really open to our students and a really great opportunity to not only get involved on campus, but also get to know other people. It's a great bonding experience as well. It was actually my first concert that I went to. So I actually attended with a few of my friends, and that's definitely something that we won't be forgetting.
A little bit about our location. Oregon State is located in the beautiful college town of Corvallis, Oregon, which literally translated means heart of the valley. We're about an hour and a half south away from Portland, about 45 minutes or an hour away from the coast, and about 2 hours away from our other campus located in Bend, OSU Cascades, our little mountain town. So there's a picture you can see kind of distance from where you are at. And we have about 56,000 people that live in the city of Corvallis year-round, just over 30,000 students on our campus. There's a little bit about us. As Shara was mentioning, there is so much to get involved in as a student. With over 400 different student clubs and organizations, there truly is something for everyone. Whether you want to join a club that has to do with your academic program, maybe you're an engineer and you want to design a race car. The Society of Automotive Engineers get together and they do that, and then they race in international competitions across the world. There's also organizations that have to do with personal interests. One of our tour ambassadors started a Corgi Appreciation Club. So again, a whole spectrum of things. We're Division I athletics, very fun to go to games and also participate if you want to be a part of athletics, club sports, and intramurals. Greek life, for those that are interested in being a part of house or an instantaneous community, you can definitely do that with over 30 chapters. If you're somebody that loves music and you want to be involved in playing in a band or singing in a choir, you can do that without majoring it, although you definitely can major in it as well. But you can be a part of the oldest marching band in the Pac-12 and travel with the team. There's even an a cappella girls group that travels to Italy every year. So lots of ways to participate. The Adventure Leadership Institute are for those of you that love the outdoors and are adventurers at heart. And I took a class within this institute about wilderness survival skills, which hasn't come in handy yet, but hopefully maybe in the future it will. It's also a place where students can check out equipment. So if you wanted to kayak down the Willamette River, for instance, maybe you can rent a kayak from them. Cheryl already mentioned some of the events happening with the Cultural Resource Centers, but they're great things to check out, so many different options. And then Orange Media Network, for those of you that want to host your own podcast or radio show or be on TV, there's a KBVR news and radio network that's offered for our students. So there's just a very brief picture of the many things you can get involved in, and there's so much more. If you want to live on campus, there are 16 different residence halls that you can choose from. And if you go online to our housing website, you'll be able to see virtual tours of all options. There are single rooms for those of you that are introverted and don't want to people. You can also live with one other person, 2 other people, or in a suite style room, which is kind of like an apartment. There are living learning communities. For example, Weatherford Hall, that's pictured here, hosts our College of Business, and they offer living experiences for business students, but they also offer different activities. So maybe a networking event with entrepreneurs that are very successful in their field will come to Weatherford and host that event there. Special interest communities have to do with more of your passions or personal projects. So maybe you're very environmentally conscious and you want to live with other people that are like-minded and want to be sustainable like you do. It's possible to do that. There's 18 different dining locations on our campus, and it's really good food, from sushi to burgers. You can really eat it all here. So to make sure to know, when you're studying at Oregon State, there's so much that you can do with your degree and then also your major while you're on campus. We are one of the top tier forefront research institutions. Being able to get involved in research while you're on campus and then afterwards, it really helps for your future career, and especially if you're interested. For instance, one of our students was studying, wanting to become a pharmacist within our chemistry department, and had a passion for understanding different medicinal principles and how to effectively help cure different diseases. And he was able to do research in his undergraduate career, which is kind of cool. Graduate school, if you want to go into that, to professional programs, our students are so well prepared to be able to go take tests to get into their master's program. If you're going on to medical school as well to take the MCAT, our students definitely come ready to do that and have high success rates of getting placed into those professional programs. On our campus, we do have career services. So if you need help writing a resume or maybe doing a mock interview, there are people to help you while you're in school. So we're not just going to put you out there on your own. There will be help along the way. There's also internship opportunities. So while you're a student at OSU, being able to try something out in a field and maybe make sure that is where you want to go. When I was a student, I had a chance to be an intern for an event planning company. I thought maybe I want to be an event planner, and I was connected with my College of Liberal Arts, and they set me up with someone who had graduated from Oregon State, showed me the ropes of this event planning company, and I learned that I loved it, and that's definitely something I wanted to do with my career. There are conferences that students can attend that have to do with their majors and programs, or even maybe you're interested in political science and you want to go to the Capitol and you want to explore different options of being in the political world. Well, you can do that with Oregon State. There are also industry tours. So for students that are interested in business or in engineering, a lot of our students will go to Boeing and they'll go through and walk through the facilities, see what's going on there, meet with students that have graduated from OSU and are now working at Boeing, but there are a lot of different industry opportunities and connections.
Hi everyone, my name is Eve. I'm a current third-year student at OSU studying or pursuing a double major with environmental science and psychology. I'm from Portland, Oregon, which is about an hour and a half north of Corvallis. And some of the reasons that I chose OSU were because of the strong science and mathematics program. So I was originally interested in marine biology. They have a phenomenal research center at the coast, and so that was a huge pull for me. My brother also went to Oregon State, and so I was pretty familiar with the campus and knew that I really enjoyed the atmosphere. And then I also moved around both nationally and internationally when I was little. So once I found the Pacific Northwest, I knew I wasn't quite ready to leave yet. But when it comes to research, I have found that Oregon State has been a phenomenal university to be able to support me in a variety of ways. We have research across the colleges, so even if you're not interested in a lab coat and goggles type of major or experience, you don't have to get involved that way. In our College of Liberal Arts, we have 11 psychology labs. Our professors are incredibly eager to get students involved. So I was taking a general psychology class. I think it was a 200 level series, so there were quite a few of us within the classroom. But our professor was so eager to tell us what he was doing in his lab. And at the end of the term, because I did well in the class, he actually invited me to help participate within his lab. And so I got a chance to learn a little bit more about social psychology. There were some experience where you tried to assess how great people's first reactions were within the first 5 minutes of meeting someone else. But then I've also been involved in other research on campus. I took another class with a professor in atmospheric science, became really interested with learning more about climate change. I emailed him once the class was over to tell him how much I enjoyed it. And I was also able to gain a position in his lab where I'm currently learning how to code, to learn a little bit more about climate change and where our future could be headed. But regardless of what kind of college you're in or a major you're pursuing, if you're showing interest, talking to your professors, you can definitely find your place within some sort of research lab on campus.
Thanks, Eve. So you've heard about research, student life, everything you get involved in, but we have over 200 different academic programs for you to choose from. There is a wide variety of options. Whether you're interested in where we started in agricultural sciences, you want to run your own ranch or farm, or you want to be an entrepreneur in business, definitely something for everyone. With 11 different colleges to choose from, you have definitely a diverse population, but for those students that don't know what they want to study, on the left there, you'll be able to see University Exploratory Studies. So that's our I don't know major. If you're looking at this list and you're thinking, they all sound great, I want to try them all, well, maybe you can. Through University Exploratory Studies, you'll work with an advisor who will help pick classes that work from multiple areas, and so you can kind of try things out and figure it out that way. Our Honors College is unique in that it's a degree granting institution, so you'll graduate with an honors baccalaureate degree in your field. The Honors College classes are smaller in nature and they're more collaborative as well. So you'll get together with students that maybe you want to come and collaborate and solve world problems. Also, as a part of the Honors College, you'll do a thesis or research project to culminate your work. And that's a little bit about kind of what maybe a little private school and a public school system for our Honors College looks like. We're the only veterinary medicine school in the state, so if you like working with animals, we do have the teaching hospital, and then we do also have the pharmacy program, the full PhD. For students that are trying to navigate find their major, there's a page where you can go and look at the filter locations and see, using the cards on the Find Your Major page, you can locate it by campus, and you can see by interest in academic theme or by academic college. As you select the options at the top, if you are looking at the Corvallis campus or the Bend campus, maybe you're interested in science and natural resources or engineering, and then you finally narrow it down to a specific college like forestry. You'll see the cards at the bottom of the page change so you can get a better idea of what might be of interest to you.
So now that you've heard about all the amazing things that you can do at Beaver Nation, how do you get here? How does that process start? And it all starts with applying in the admissions process. So know whether you're applying as a first-year freshman or as a transfer student, there are going to be admission requirements and a holistic review for your application. So that means there's not one specific thing we're looking for from every student. We're going to look at your whole application before we make a decision, but you can find all the details on our website for more information. For today, we're going to go primarily over freshman first-year requirements, but know if you are taking dual enrollment through a community college or another institution, as you're in high school, you're still going to be applying as a first-year student. So since you haven't graduated high school yet, you'll still be coming in as a first year, but with some college credit. In terms of what we consider, we're going to look at a variety of things. Like I mentioned, it's a holistic review. We're going to look at your transcript and view your academic history. So what types of classes were you involved with? Did you challenge yourself in your coursework by taking dual credit or AP classes, or maybe even just going above and beyond the minimums for graduation, right? What were their assortment of classes like throughout your time in high school, and how did you progress? Maybe you had a rough first year, but you ended really, really strong. That's all going to be part of that academic history review. We're also going to require that every student complete an essay. For OSU, where you're going to be using one of the prompts from the Common App, so you can apply through Common App or through our website, and you'll have a series of 7 questions, and you only have to do one of them. So you pick what prompt, and you'll answer that and give us a chance to learn more about you, what you're interested in, challenges that you faced, what you're passionate about, or maybe what your goals are for your career. This is really a chance for us to learn more about you as a student and what you want to get out of your education from Oregon State. If you feel like there's still some more information that you want us to know or would be helpful as we evaluate your application, you do have the option to submit a personal statement or the COVID statement question to give us a little bit more background on your academic history or what your interests are in your goals of higher education. For fall 2021 and beyond, OSU is test optional. So that means it's up to the student if they want to send in an SAT or an ACT score. Choosing not to send in a test score will not harm your review. We're not going to put you at a disadvantage or look negatively at your application. But some students feel that the ACT or SAT gives an additional picture, supports their academic history. And if that's the case for you, you're more than welcome to send this in an SAT or ACT, but no, it is not required for admissions or for scholarship purposes. As Amanda mentioned earlier, we have a fantastic honors college, and if that really interests you and you want to apply, you can do the honors application inside the general admissions application. But no, they do have some additional requirements. So they're looking for certain GPA in order to apply. They also have additional essays and questions. So it does take a little bit more time to complete the honors application while you're applying than just applying for general admission. You'll get decisions back from both OSU and the Honors College, so that happens separately, but you can apply to them all within one application. Some items that you need to make sure that you're submitting, right, is the online application itself. So that contains that essay, questions about your academic history, some background information on your school and things like that. But you also have to send in an official high school transcript. So you want to make sure you work with your high school counselor to submit that information so we can review it for our academic history review. In addition, that essay I mentioned is part of the application. So those are the 3 things that are required for all students to have completed. For students who want to, it's optional to send in that test score, so that's up to you. And that personal statement or the COVID statement are optional as well. So those are only if you choose to submit those. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see our deadlines. Early action is November 1st. It's not binding. Students who apply by November 1st will get a decision no later than mid-December. Students who apply by February 1st will get a decision no later than mid-March. So there's no difference in how we evaluate your application, only when you hear your decision back from OSU. One of the things you want to make sure that you're checking is your college prep classes. This is part of our academic history review, and we just wanted to highlight it really quickly because it is an important part of the application process. You want to make sure that you're completing all of these requirements with a C- or better. Now, these are really common for all high schools in Oregon to have as requirements to graduate with your diploma. But for Oregon State specifically, we're looking for a C- or better. So some high schools accept Ds as passing grades for graduation, but that might mean you're short in some areas for OSU admissions. So look over those transcripts, make sure you're completing the minimums. If you have any questions, that's what we're here for. Contact us, we're happy to walk through and make sure that you're on track to graduate with your college prep completed for admissions purposes. Paying for college is a big question for a lot of our students. Not everyone has just thousands of dollars in their pocket they can pull out for the tuition payment, and we know that. So we try to make OSU as affordable as possible through scholarships and aid. Some of the things that you can look for from Oregon State would be admissions-based scholarships. So those happen directly as a result of you submitting your application. You don't actually have to do anything different than just applying to Oregon State by February 1st, and we'll consider you based off of information from your application. In addition to those admissions-based awards, we also have a program called Scholar Dollars, where students who are admitted to OSU can submit one application that applies to multiple scholarships across campus. And that includes scholarships specific to your major, maybe where you're from, your GPA, extracurriculars. So there's a lot of different programs and scholarship awards that are done through Scholar Dollars. The important thing with Scholar Dollars is the priority deadline is February 1st. So it's beneficial to apply for admission early to get a decision and to submit that Scholar Dollars application before February 1st. It also offers an external search tool. So if you're having trouble finding other scholarships to apply for, you can use Scholar Dollars to look for non-OSU specific awards and find instructions of how to apply for those. Also, Oregon State does provide financial aid packages based off of your FAFSA or your ORSA application. So these would be need-based awards such as loans, grants, and work study. Important to be getting those applications in as early as you can so that way you have plenty of time to follow up with additional information if it's needed from our financial aid office. But no, our priority deadline is February 28th for FAFSA. In terms of your next steps, some things to remember is that in the fall, this is really the time for seniors to be submitting their admissions applications. You want to submit your official high school transcripts. That way we can get them attached to your application. And you want to start working on that FAFSA and ORSA applications. And those are all great things for high school seniors to be doing in the fall. In the wintertime, really start to focus that search on scholarships. Look for additional awards outside of the institutions you're applying for. Gather up and work on your essays for those scholarships as well. And then in the springtime is when you're going to hit those next steps. So you'll apply for housing, continue to apply for scholarships, accept any aid that you were awarded. And that's when you're going to decide what school you want to commit to and pay your deposit. For Oregon State, after that point is when you get to sign up for orientation and really start your path to Oregon State, meet with your academic advisors, and all that's a super exciting time. So that will hopefully help you figure out your timeline so you're on track to start at Beaver Nation in fall 2021. For additional questions and information, don't hesitate to reach out to the Office of Admissions. There's more information on your screen. We provide virtual visits throughout the year so you can be guided on a campus tour, virtually meet with admissions advisors, hear from academic programs. There's a lot going on in the virtual world. We know we'd love you to be on campus right now, but unfortunately, we're not able to do that. So sign up and meet with us online or find your advisor for more questions. Thanks for attending today, and go Beavs.
Go Beavs.